Good evening. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us. Day 20 of the Ashleigh Burwood investigation. Tonight, we're reporting live from the front line. Now, there has been some very important developments, and this operation is now starting to spread and gain this momentum. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to look into the cards and see if we can get a kind of a sense of direction that we where we can share like how much of the developments we can actually share with you. But there has been some major developments, concluding yesterday's reading, guys. As I reported yesterday, is that we uncovered a secret government, under secret government deals that were made between these organisations, Ashleigh Burwood, Leather Market, and their co-conspirators. We also have, of course, they were flanked by their hired hitman, as well as the hacker, Mr. Simon Howard. Without further ado, guys, what we're going to do today is we have the first letter of the day, which is R, which is to report, and also reveal the behind the scenes about what has been happening. Also, human trafficking. Guys, human trafficking is something that could have been misunderstood up until the recent times. It could have been misunderstood because there's so many elements that are involved, as we're going to learn today. So many different angles, guys. We're going to get three cards. So we have an R, one more RM, one more RM, and finally we have the letter F. So we are reporting live from the front line. But also, this M could also be a W. So we're going to unpack. We're going to unpack with you. Um, we're going to unpack with you today, and we're going to just base start off with these three. Start off with these three letters, and then just ask some questions. Thank you for joining us, guys. Would like to thank the collective for the diligent work that that they have been putting in. That the work that has been contributed and shared among the community, also as among the collective. So the word community, guys, is is something that it's something that this investigation has involved the community, and rather, you know, this investigation has involved the community. Okay, guys. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with just going to the cards and starting the storyline from there. Okay, guys. We're going to start off with we're going to start off with the rider weight. Now, we're the current climb, the current the current climate. We have the astrological signs of these individuals. We're going to take the first card here. Is we have this Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups speaks about uh, things that were done behind the scenes. These individuals were working on deceiving, deceptions, using, deceptions, using, this kind of, there were, kind of, portraying one thing, portraying one thing, creating, portraying one thing, create, these, the Seven of Cups speaks about, these multiple, these multiple organizations that they were all they were all playing a role in leading the community one way, because just something that I want you guys to just kind of just to notice here, to pay attention to here, is that you have these seven cups, and each has a different there's a different subject that is inside the cup. There's a different subject. So these will all would be used to um lead the public a certain way, to lead the public a certain way. Okay, guys, that's the first card of the day. We may have to move between the oracle and also the tarot, because as it stands right now, we're in that delicate stage of information. And the information that we're going to share with you, we're going to we're going to we're going to you know we're going to follow through, as we get into sharing this information with you. Okay, bear with me just a moment, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Father. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And she's here. We also have the chariot. So, in other words, guys, one of the things about this program is that it was used as a way to stop. It was used as a way to stop stop the future events that were to stop the future events. So basically, people that are involved in this program, the reason why you're targeted is because this program, it bases a lot of a lot of their actions were based on these children. So we have Miracle Child here, Miracle Child. So these are the gifted children that are to be to be the leaders of the future. They're going to be the leaders of the future. And because this program is based around control and keeping people kind of keeping people the control over the public. So bear with me, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to just adjust the sound briefly. I'm going to just adjust the sound briefly. as we're reporting live, you guys are getting, you guys are receiving, this behind the scenes. Also, as we're reporting live in the midst of this, in the midst of this operation. Okay, guys, the miracle child is a gifted child. They are sent from God. They are sent from God. These are the children who are going to be the forebearers of the future. They're going to be, they're going to usher in this new generation of, they're going to be ushering in this new generation, the age of Aquarius, the age of information. They have what you call, they're gifted children who are there, for their leadership qualities. Now, these miracle children are known as these golden children, these diamond children. So, guys, you have this miracle child, who's going to be born of you. They're very connected with the divine. So, one of the things that I would like to share with you guys is that these children, they're likened to be, that their impact is in such their impact is going to be so tremendous. It shifts, it it alters, or it directs, rather it directs along in alignment with the universe. So, the old god or the old paradigm, rather than being left behind, um, they were they have conspired to stop these miracle children from being brought onto the earth, on being born. So, in order to do that, one of the things that was one of the strategies they use is to say, okay, we're gonna have to find out who these miracle children are going to be born of. Who are they? Who's going to be their parents? So they would have. So the secret government deal would have conspired along with these organizations. These what you call the deep state. What you call the deep state, because the deep state isn't just a government from one particular region or country. These governments would have got together a long time. They would have got together in history, because this has been a prophecy. See, a prophecy. So they identified which bloodline these miracle children will be born of. What they would have done is they would have identified, which bloodline these children would have been born of. So they would have you know been tracking. So, there's a lot of emphasis on this program being based on tracking, on keeping, surveillance. So these children, in order to try to attempt to stop them from being born, they would have tracked their families. The families would have been tracked. And how would they track their families? They would keep them close. So some of these family members would have been involved in the military, would have been a scientist, would have also been religious leaders, would have also been religious leaders. They would have kept these um, families very close, because they were expected to you know you know bear these children, these miracle children. There's a number of these miracle children that are that have been prophesied, and the reason they're miracle children is because the ordeals that their parents would have had to undergo in order to receive the children from the heavens, in order to receive the children as this gift for the earth. So we're going to. So this is just, you could, we could title this, you know, this entire reading, or this entire, this investigation based on these children. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to, have that as a heading, as a kind of a marker for future reference. Is that this video is going to be titled along, secret government deals involve involving children, and by that is that how the children have been subjects. Okay, we're going to keep this. We're going to keep. This will be our focal point. Secret government deals. This miracle child that has been promised to you. By God, because just to give you a backstory, guys. Just to give you a backstory, guys, is that you know the children that is to be are to be in line with the development of the planet, if you would, because one thing that these the deep state is one thing that they understand, and believe you me, one thing they understand is the errors that we go through, and that the errors that we go through is connected with the astrological is connected with the astrological signs, and also connected with time. These of time, they're connected with these epics. And when you keep people unaware, you are able to get one over on them. These children are a gift, because these children are going to be born with complete awareness, and our duty is to protect them by exposing the current government structures, or the current the government corruption, the current corruption, because those that know, those that have been, those that are students, they have got to the conclusion that, okay, we need to protect these children because of the change the philosophy. So we're also in this ninth house now. We're in this ninth house of philosophy, and also this speaks about about education. So the ancients knew that these children would be born, because they knew that the cycle of the the gods, if you would, the cycle of the gods would return, where the gods would walk the earth, the gods would walk the planet Earth. And what I mean by the gods is like a civilization that is has developed to such a degree where we the entire planet would more or less be connected, within this consciousness, this consciousness. This is a time of history that has has never existed, but it was promised to exist in the future. We're going to get one more card from here. We have this cannibalism. So one of the things in the one of the rites in the ancient were people were cannibalisms. The old god were cannibalism until Osiris until Osiris taught them agriculture, and he taught them how to have sustenance without the the human sacrifice, without the human sacrifice. So that was something that was given to mankind by God. God gave us agriculture. He taught us agriculture. He taught us how to preserve ourselves, each other. So this is the importance of cannibalism, because it holds to the old, and it holds to the old, the old way of doing things. The new way of doing things would be a civilized, no human sacrifice, no human trafficking, no, subjugating, the vulnerable. Because one of the things, no subjugating the vulnerable, the defenseless. Following on the rider weight, then also we have chaos magic, which is also connected with, a pretext of Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups essentially is this chaos magic that the government now have been connected with, because every card that will come up here, every card that that we share with you, is that it's something that has been witnessed by the subjects, chaos magic. You know, chaos magic is hidden behind noise campaign. Chaos magic is also hidden behind street theater. So these are all things that the subject witnesses, that are that have been programmed. Guys, the our our research has shown us that most subjects have been, kind of, that in the program they've been, I want to say they've been sensitized. They've been sensitized to stimuli. They've been sensitized to stimuli. Therefore, a sound, what appears to be just a sound of a knock on the wall, or a shout from the public, it's there to stimulate a certain response, a reaction. So these are things that alters the chaos, that alters a person's cognitive, or the person's mind, the way his mind is operating. So guys, these are things that the government have been developing. They've developed these techniques through the MK Ultra program, um, other programs that are known, that have been affiliated with that, is that they've been using things that to a normal, to the general public would appear to be trivial. They would appear to be trivial. These are all connected. These are all connected. So guys, as we're moving along, we we learn as a subject. We learn to take notes. We learn to take notes of things that are used as stimuli or triggers, because they will use, the government, they've developed so many different triggers or stimuli. um, Sound, um, sound is the most prominent one, because sound obviously is, from light, but sound is, is something that they use, because it's very also, to 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 the general public, a sound is just a sound, but to a subject, the sound develops a message. A message is given through the sound. So when a certain sound is heard by the subject, it triggers a memory. You know, other things you can compare it to will be sense. Sense. You know, the scent of a woman could remind you of a particular a particular time in your life. And normally, these sounds are there to trigger a sort of trauma, um, until we recognize it. So by sharing this information, we kind of recognize it and to realize that, okay, this is supposed to be a trigger or trauma. And when you realize about a trauma is just a program. It's just a program. It's a program. It's a program that the scientists or your memory has stored within you until you unprogram by raising this awareness. Once you raise just general awareness, the trauma tends to subside and disappear. You know, once you gain knowledge of it, you just observe and it leaves. So this is one of the things that our future generations, they're going to be aware of this information. They're going to be fully aware of this information because they would have, the information has already been experienced by us. The traumas have already been cleared by us. So we're going to get one more, the crown chakra. Crown chakra. So this is about this is about receiving information. You're receiving information right now. You're going to be receiving information that is going to break through these illusions, that's going to break through these programming. You're going to be receiving this information through your crown. You're going to be receiving this information through your crown chakra. So we have R, W, and F. R, W, F, and also we have this. We have A, which was underneath the R, which was underneath the R. I'm going to just, what we're going to do is we're just going to place the letters to one side, and we're going to have crown chakra here. So, you know, your crown chakra has been, you know, your chakras in general have been something that have been used by these targets. So what we're going to get from that also is that this hitman the hitman neighbor, and also, you know, these hackers, what they were planning to do is to hack your crown chakra, to, you know, kind of to hack your to you know to hack you to attempt to hack your crown chakra in order to stop your flow of information. This is one of the things that they will try to do, is try to stop your connection to the divine, by creating these illusions, such as your noise campaigns, your street theaters. These are all used in this chaos magic to create this illusion that will stop you from having, you know, being in a peaceful state of mind, basically. So as the stories, you know, starts to develop, we'll start to realize that what the government were doing essentially is that they were trying to stop you from, you know, achieving this peaceful state of mind where you could see what was happening around you for what it was. Because there's been a lot of deception, but, you know, we're here to eliminate the deception. We're here to break the deception, you know, shatter their deceptions. And then we're going to shuffle the cards, Please tell us about these individuals' current state. Please share with us these individuals' current state. Something that we need to know. The moon that speaks about, you know, what is done in the, done under the cover of darkness. Tonight is a full moon. Also, it's a Gemini full moon. So, you could have somebody also a water sign, or you could have a water sign which is a Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, and also so these water signs, they could be exposed for what they were doing. There would have been, this shadow in the background. They could be exposed for what they were doing. This is something that could be coming into light view. What else can we say about these? What else could you show us about the individuals, please, Spirit? Tonight is a full moon, so which could also mean that there could be also performing these rituals on this full moon, which could involve this chaos magic to create more chaos in order to divert your efforts. In order to divert your efforts. So a form of ritual could be performed. And here we have you are guilty. The Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, you are guilty. You're going to be found guilty because the evidence has been compiled, allocated. There's evidence. What was once in the shadow is going to be made public. As you can see here, guys, in the center, you have this you have this cover, which is over. You have this cover, which is over this individual in the cup. So these guys are guilty for you have this cover, which is over this person. This silhouette of a person, and also the sides, or the around the individual is being illuminated. So a truth is going to be illuminated where people are going to see through what was the illusion, and these individuals are going to be found guilty of you know performing these rituals, and then performing these rituals. And also that speaks about having this evidence. We have this evidence because we have the different we have the different things. Also the jewels would represent you know um you know monetary. Also that could also mean sort of documents, false documents, you know, false documents. Get one more card. Emotional, putting people through emotional pain. So you're going to be healing from this trauma that has been that has been subject that has been you're going to be healing from this. You're going to be healing from this trauma, that you've been, that you've had to endure. So you're going to be healing. So healing is something. Is something. Through the healing, we receive this vitality, this new vitality. We also, through the healing, we receive, this this new, this new way of being through the healing. Through the healing, our healing is going to is going to be is going to beneficial in order to bring in the new generation, because our trauma being healed is also the key. Our trauma being healed is also the key. So behind the scenes, this is what is, which is what it's all about. Your healing behind the scenes. So your choice to heal is, you know is this is a key, and it's a courageous. So guys, we're going to get a few more cards just to see, ask the question, how, or what is, these individuals in their current, the current state, how are they reacting to this news about, how are they reacting to the current news right now? We're going to ask the cards. Should we go to the right away? Okay, we're going to take one here from here. Davon. Okay. Okay, so these individuals are against nature, which means, nature reverse. Nature reverse. Davon is, of course, King Von. He speaks about, nature was reversed. He used that term, that nature was reversed. So normally that means, guys, that, being in this receiving mode, in hermit mode, having to go within, going within, in other words, being out there, not being out there, which could also mean that these individuals were against nature. They were operating from a space of self, and that space of self was to that space of self was to reject nature, to reject the developments of nature. Okay, we're going to go to the right away, and what we're going to do is we're going to place them on top, because as the space here. But if you want, guys, we're going to take one from here. So the government. So again, here this means that the government were complicit. The secret government, the deep state, because they are elements of the government that are upright. In the reverse, this speaks about corruption. In the reverse, this speaks about fraudulent. In the reverse, this speaks about dishonesty. In the reverse, this speaks about theft. This speaks about theft. So this speaks about dishonest, dishonest, dishonest obtaining of property, and also of ideas. So ideas could be obtained dishonestly, but also they would have used, you know, this speaks about that there would be blackmail, and what you'd call, this will be an example of, these secret deals that were that they would have negotiated, hiring a hitman. Or we also have here that Mr. Simon Howard would have been hired or would have been given government privileges, where now he and these individuals can create, where these individuals were allowed or given, this pardon. They were given these secret government pardons in order to operate against, against these subjects. Because one thing that we were able to, gather in our intelligence is that these individuals, as being as part of the secret government, they were given, these privileges where they would be paid with they would be paid with, kind of, what you'd call, a sort of black budget. They call it a black budget. So what is a black budget? Well, a black budget is where is associated with nefarious activities of monetary gain. So these are things where now prostitution, uh, 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 drug dealing, um, blackmail. These are all things that these secret government deals were operating with. Hired assassinations, murder, sacrifices. They use they use a what you'd call, they have this budget. This budget. There's something that was brought to our attention today, is that the subjects on this on the subjects are under what you'd call, this watch list or this kill list. Now, the connection between these individuals would be, they would be given every they would be given kind of the light, I want to say the license to to commit, these crimes. So it's kind of the secret, like, they're allowed, they from a subject's point of view, is that they're given weapons, guys. They're given weapons, and sometimes these weapons are technology. They can be technology. So that's why we get, the hitman will be supplied with weapons, and or Simon Howard will be supplied with, these narcotics, drugs, that would be weaponized. These would be weaponized, weaponized drugs that would have been created in a lab. They would have been created in a lab by scientists. So connected with these technologies is a substance. That is used, as I'm speaking. I'm about to, about to cough. So they would have been given these. They would have opened these coffers. This secret compartment. Now, what they would do, what they would have done is, this substance would have been sprayed. This substance would have been sprayed with a. This substance would have been sprayed with a toxic substance. And then now these are all things that are developed by the scientists. These are all things that are developed by the scientists and used by Simon Howard. The reason why we say particularly Mr. Simon Howard, because we were in a close proximity with him, as we were the subject that was that was being monitored and surveyed, and the substance that the technology, the substance and the technology can be used through a cell phone, for instance, can be used through a cell phone. Now, this cell phone, once it's activated, it will spread this. It would highlight, and then it would attach to the nervous system. So then it would almost have this, paralytic or paralyzed feeling of, something like a trauma being, a trauma. So again, it would activate and connect with the trauma. Now, these are all things that were witnessed by the subject. The first stages is to cloud one's vision, to cloud one's senses. So they would use also these narcotics, these drugs. They would also use these narcotics, these drugs that would have been, that would have been sprayed also, because these substances, the government have complete control over. They have complete control over these substances, so they will use radiation, to spray anything that is to go into contact with you. Now, excuse me, I'm just excuse me. Okay, guys. So the secret. So here we have the government. Here we have the government that are, you know, secret government deals. The secret government deals were involving, this black this budget. You know, the word, the budget basically is, so you have this connection with the government, and also the secret government, the deep state. The reason why they're the deep state also, guys, is that these companies are given the space where they operate under one umbrella with one goal. Under one umbrella, one goal. So your your websites, your apps, your companies, your delivery companies, your your retail stores, your grocery departments, home store department stores, all those organizations are really under one umbrella within the deep state, because they all have the same goal in mind, and they would all benefit from, being, having, being in this group. They would all benefit from being in this group. Nature reverse, the nature kingdom also involves these animals. So one of the things, guys. Okay, I'm gonna just pause. Just pause. Bear with me one moment there. as we adjust the sound. Bear with me one moment, guys. I'm also going to check our schedule. Okay, guys. Okay, nature reverse also means harm animals. Harm animals. So under this full moon, underneath this full moon, they could be performing some form of ritual, which is involves also something that could involve animal sacrifice. Animal sacrifice. Now, um, you know, some parts of the world, animal sacrifice is accepted. So, but in this way, is it's kind of like the cruelty. It's a cruelty to animals, because one thing that you guys would be aware of is that one of the things that they use is animal cruelty in these programs. They use animal cruelty is that they begin to desensitize these children by teaching them how to harm animals, how to kill animals. So these individuals from a young age would have been taught how to, they would have been given, they would have been made to become close to an animal. For instance, um, they would be close to an animal. They would be they would be bonded with an animal, right? They'll be bonded with an animal, made to close with an animal, but then they could also be then steered into harming that animal who they have grown close to. Why is that? They do that in order to, to split the personality, which creates a trauma, because you love that animal so much. That's your best friend. You love that animal so much, but when the government experimentees, the scientists, when they convince you to harm this animal, it it goes against your initial feeling. So it creates that separation. So then that's why that this is how these monarchs or these mind control experiments are normally conducted. They've done this from a very young age, is where they desensitize them from having any emotions and love for the animal kingdom and nature. So this is something that these individuals would have gone through. Is that something that we found out in our research? Is that part of their programming involves them to harm animals? Involves them to harm animals because later on they're going to be expected to harm humans. So it's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone, and it's a stepping stone. These are all things that were developed in these programs, these mind control programs. They were developed in order to create this assassin, this soldier assassin. So cruelty to animals, harm animals, is one of the titles that we have here, guys. Okay, it's it can go. We're going to put it over here. So animal cruelty is something these individuals are have been known or accustomed to. You know, You remind me. Nickelback. You remind me. So this is also about creating this trauma, which is creating these, creating this trauma. Is that these individuals have also been conditioned, being that they are these soldiers. Soldiers are conditioned, be, you know, being in the program since the moment we were born. Um, the subject is conditioned. Is conditioned to harsh treatment. Is conditioned to abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. You know, you remind me. So these memories of being abused is something that is stored within our being, and this program is complicit in these actions. So these are the things that we're going to blow the whistle on, is that we have to put this to an ending and a stop, because no longer do we need to adhere to that sort of treatment in the future going forward. Dominate. So they aim to dominate a subject, because a dominating a subject is a way of control. The so it's a way to control. So they use this. They use these chaos, all forms of magic, basically, to lower a person's defense down. So then you are dominated while you're kept while you're kept, while you're in this illusion. While you're in this illusion, you're now being subject. However, now this is all part of this programming. This programming is that they are they want to dominate. So as we fight, as we stand our ground and fight back, we now are revealing, raising this awareness is a way now to reply. We're responding by raising this awareness. So now we begin to, raise this awareness to effectively. Now these individuals, how now they have to respond, because now they have to respond the on the back foot, basically on the back foot, because responding with information is now how we now are going to fight back against this program. Because this program, one of the things that they create is this illusion, is to create an illusion that you're defenseless. They create the illusion that you're defenseless. We're raising the awareness that you're not defenseless, is that you can fight back. And how do you fight back? You fight back with information. You fight back with light. You fight back with light, with knowledge. You fight back with knowledge, and then that knowledge now removes the power, the domination, or the subjugate. And also, all you have to do is shed light. That's how you fight back. You shed light, and they have to retreat. They must retreat once you fight back. So these government deals were made to to create this dominion, this dominate, dominate these subjects by keeping them quiet. So, you have Julian Assange, uh, WikiLeaks, Edward Snowden, you know, people, the whistleblowers that have gone before us, they fought back against the government by sharing information. So this is how we fight back. We fight back by sharing information, even though we will be subjugated, and they would aim to, and they would aim to subjugate us. We must continue to share the information, because that is how we fight back against the machine that is, the deep state. And also guys, I wanted to just, I wanted to share with you that, lately, in the last couple of days, they have been using this new something which has been new. It's called, keeping quiet, trying to keep a subject quiet. So they want to dominate by keeping you quiet, by intimidating you into being quiet. So one of the psychological components, if you would, that they have sent has been this keep quiet magic, or they call it shut up magic. It even sounds it even it they have this magic which is aimed at attacking your. To be quite honest with you guys, I thought it was a glamour spell at first. I thought it was a glamour spell, meaning that I thought, okay, they want to affect, how you feel about yourself. But one of the collective, they shared and actually titled it "Shut Up Magic," and then that kind of it rang so true, because their attempt is to dominate into keeping you quiet, So they want to control. They want to control your communication by by affecting your speech. So like you may get a cough, and you may get these sensations like that. So this is just something to be aware of, that you may feel that you're just coming down with a cold, a a general cold, but rather, this is all part of this psychological warfare. Okay, guys. Okay, we're going to just get one or two from the Game of Thrones, just to conclude the reading, and then we're going to, just to conclude the reading, we're going to get one or two cards from the Game of Thrones, and then we're going to summarize this report today. We're going to summarize, just trying to get a general feel of what it was that we found out today. But there's been excellent news, guys. So I'm here to also share with you, and just to say, continue fighting the fight, and you fight back by being shedding, sharing your light, your light, your information, your exposing, these individuals, because they do not, because they're all they everything they do is to stop you from sharing the information. So by you sharing, that is how you respond gracefully. Okay, guys, we're up to the Game of Thrones now. The Game of Thrones part of the reading of the report, and let's see what part these cards are going to show us today. Okay, one more. We'll take this one. We may have two. We may have two. I think we may have two. Detective Maester Lewin is your detective. Is your detective. The detective is here. Maester Lewin. He collects the information. He collects the knowledge. He has collected this knowledge. This knowledge. He's also, the teacher. He's also the teacher. So again, this is about, he holds that lamp. In the traditional tarot, that is he holds the lamp. The light of God. He's the wise one. The wise one. Maester Lewin. The wise one. So to conclude, finally, Spirit would like to let us know that by the light, by shining the light on this particular ordeal, by shining the light on this particular ordeal, is what is bringing this ordeal, or this whole situation to a close. Is that by you being this light bearer, bearing this light is also the light of God. The information that you're receiving from within and sharing it with the world is what is going to bring this entire ordeal to a close. You're effectively causing a cosmic wave, reactions that will close this investigation. Because by sharing this information, we're opening the books. We're opening the books of this case. Okay, guys, we're going to conclude. So just in closing, the word or the message of the day has really been about, this light, holding this light, the light of God, the light, the lamp of God. May the lamp guide you. Okay, God bless and love you all.